Is there too much music? Now, as a music lover, listener, and primarily a music reaction channel, this sounds like a positive thing to most of you, and it is. But there's also some negative sides to it, which I want to discuss and elaborate upon in this video. And I want to open up this discussion to you out there. So feel free to hit me in the comment section below and we can have a bit of a chat. While the exact daily number can fluctuate, approximately 100,000 new songs are uploaded to Spotify and various other streaming platforms every single day, which is insane. And you can only imagine, as a up and coming or new artist, how difficult it must be to compete with the vast array of new music hitting these platforms on a daily basis. And this is a growing trend because new music uploaded daily has been on the rise for years, and it's only going to get bigger because of things like digital musical distribution tools and AI powered production. Now, I know some of you out there will be thinking, wow, this is awesome. We've got more music to listen to. We've got more choice. The cream will always rise to the top. However, for new and especially independent artists who might not always have that financial backing, it's going to make it really difficult for them to stand out to new listeners and potentially get the recognition that they deserve. It even happens when I make music reaction videos. I could do a video to Nightwish, Electric Callboy, Baby Metal for example, and I know the viewing figures are going to be relatively okay. But if I do smaller bands that I want to shout about and promote, I'm talking stuff like Castle Rat, Lambrini Girls, Be Your Own Pet, Press Club, to name but a few, they might get less than 100 views. And that's okay because I understand how algorithms work, and if more people were interested in some of those bands, then of course my reactions to those bands would potentially appear more in their recommendation list and suggested videos and whatnot. But I just sympathise with these smaller artists, independent artists specifically, because it just feels like they're on an uphill battle and struggle against the larger corporations and those with a bit more financial backing. Another reason I have a certain amount of opposition to the amount of new music uploaded daily, especially as a music reactor, is because it's impossible to keep on top of. I am a nerd, and any excuse to put something on an Excel spreadsheet, I'm gonna do it, including my music reaction to-do list. It's a huge list and contains everything that I've reacted to and published to date, as well as everything that I hope to react to in the future, in priority order. And as most of you will know, I tend to batch record a lot of my videos in advance, sometimes 3 to 4 weeks in advance, because I have a job and life outside of YouTube. YouTube isn't my full-time thing, unfortunately. And I try to strategically set things up in a way so I'm covering lots of different grounds. I'm listening to new bands and songs that I haven't heard before. I'm covering some more familiar bands that I've reacted to before that I clearly enjoy and you want me to do more of. And I'm also doing bands that I want to scream and shout about and share with you. So you're trying to tick all of these boxes to fulfill all of these needs, and you've got everything lined up, and then someone hits you in the comments and says, oh my God, Melvin, have you heard that blah, 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 have just released a new single? You heard they've just dropped a new one too, and they've just dropped a new one. And you get in this dilemma. You're like, okay, I could record reactions to these recent videos and potentially push some of the stuff that I batch recorded back, but then when do you stop? And it just starts to become quite overwhelming, quite stressful, if I'm honest with you. And it has got to the kind of point where I'm like, you know what, if I'm gonna cover this band's latest single and it's 3-4 weeks late or even 2 months, whatever it may be, I don't care. As long as I do it, then I don't mind being late to the party. And of course, this is just a personal dilemma of mine because I'm trying to appeal to anyone and everyone across a multitude of different musical genres whilst only publishing 3 videos a week. So I can't possibly react to every new single that gets dropped by a band or artist. I just can't do it. And in the past, I have tried to do that, like literally within several hours of a song becoming on YouTube or whatever, I've recorded the reaction, edited it, published it, and it just did shit. And I just thought, what was the point? I might as well take my time, enjoy it, not get so stressed and anxious and pressurized by it all, and just do it in my own pace. To be honest with you, the majority of the videos that I've made which have done the best from a viewing figures point of view, have been songs that have been out for years, years and years and years. So I'm just going to take my sweet ass time. Another shit thing that can happen to you as a reactor is that you schedule a video in advance, it gets published, and then the band release a new single on the same day. It happened to me recently. It was Song 3, the Baby Metal and Slaughter to Prevail collaboration, and I was trying to time the video to come out the day before their new album came out. And I thought, oh, that'd be perfect, wouldn't it? They're dropping a new album, I do a reaction the day before to one of the songs that's going to be on the album. And then they dropped their collaboration with Spirit Box. Yeah, the video didn't do that great. So where am I going with all of this? I just think that there's too much music and too much good music to add. So that's a negative and a positive thing. But forget me being a music reactor. Just as a music listener, a music lover, there's just too much stuff out there and I can't listen to it all, and that makes me sad. I'm an old school guy and I like listening to albums from beginning to end. I always have done. I'm not one of these people that will just go on Spotify and hit up a band or artist, click the shuffle button and hope for the best. I can't do it. When I'm invested in a band, I want to listen to their albums from start to finish, and most of the time in chronological order. I want to invest myself and discover them like a true fan would and see how they've developed and grown as well. And that takes time. I'm not just going to listen to an album once, move on to the next one, etc. because I think then it gets a bit confusing and you start to forget which tracks sit on which albums and it all just gets a bit muddled up. So some albums I will take away and listen to for a month and nothing else, and then go on to their next one and their next one. And of course this all takes time and it means you have to sacrifice listening to other music out there. And again, that just makes me sad because I feel like I'm potentially missing out on stuff. But if I think back to my teenage years and pre-internet days, that's how it was. I didn't have enough money to buy a new CD album every single day. I couldn't afford it. So I knew that when I'd saved up enough money, that album that I was going to buy, I was going to listen to death. And I kind of miss that because those records, because you've heard them so many times, have got a special place in your heart and they remind you of a certain period in time. Whereas nowadays, we have everything and anything available to us at the click of a button. Myself included, I have a Spotify premium account. And I just think you don't necessarily invest yourself in a record as much anymore because you know there's something else waiting. And that does upset me. You can tell. That's why I'm making this video. I don't know. Am I just being overly emotional and melodramatic? Probably. But I needed some sort of platform to talk about this. And hopefully there's someone on the other side of this still watching. And if you are still watching, kindly give this video a thumbs up so it helps it with the algorithm and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, comment in the comment section below and we can discuss this subject matter further should you choose. Thank you for watching. Look after yourselves. Hopefully I'll see you very soon. Bye for now, people.